Also.
You started, right? You started.
You guys look fresh. Jeez, this picture's gonna get like 1,000 views.
Taking a picture?
No, I'm taking it.
Okay, he started. So just
Okay, continue.
Okay.
Tuttie. She goes by Tuttie, and the name it sounds like fruity.
So I was just telling Saku that I have selective memory and bad memories are always, what's the word? Forgotten.
We only
Bad, blurred out.
She was
At
just
first,
telling me. Yes, she was telling
On me.
I was just telling you guys. But now I remember. Like I said earlier, every time you do something you're not supposed to be doing, whoever sees you will be asking, are you not supposed to be studying? So I think I did try to study every day. And there are certain things that you have to continue practicing. Accounts. So I never did accounts at O level. And one course where the lecture was not very helpful. So it was something that I had to do, keep doing. Completion statements also. There are certain things that I used to practice every day. But like sitting down to study, closer to exams, Sundays especially. I got church on Saturdays, so Sundays, evenings, to be honest, Nishi are tired. And maybe at work, if it's not so busy, I hope my former employer is not watching, I would study then. Yeah.
I tried to study every day during the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, most Thursdays, but sometimes Musaku would be a bad influence.
Thursday.
Yeah, we would meet on Thursdays.
Alright.
Just to, catch up. Half the time I'll be complaining about school, but he'd always listen and encourage me. That was pretty cool. So I look forward to my Thursdays, the ones when I wasn't studying. Friday, I don't know. I don't think you can study on a Friday. It's so hard.
Tired.
Yeah, no. Unless
And
during
then you have
exam
3 classes.
period.
You have 3 classes on Friday.
And you can't just wait to get home and or to go out and chill. Saturday as well, I rarely ever studied on Saturday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some Thursdays, and then Sunday. Yeah, I think that's enough time to put
But
your
we must
studying
also
notes in
say, you
order.
guys, is that we're all different. As you have already seen, we're all different. So you need to find what works for you.
Yeah.
And our advice is that you find out sooner rather than later.
Because for instance, there's people that can sleep and then wake up at 1 and study till 3. Whew, can never be me. So I would study after class, get off at 5 p.m., start studying at 6, and then maybe study until 21, and then watch series and stuff. This was before exam period.
Before the pressure.
Before the pressure mounted. Yeah, just put in your 2-3 hours a day and you're good. During exam period,
6 to 6.
yeah, but I would make sure I'm asleep by midnight still. Midnight sleep, because you need to rest. Because when you're in those exams, there's
it's very
your
important.
brain needs to be quite rested. Yeah.
And the biggest thing I can say is know yourself. Ziale is a very personal experience for everyone.
Yeah.
Because different things are happening. It's not like the world stops when you're at Ziale. So
married.
people get married, people die, people get sick. So you just have to be.
You get sick.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Kozani. He was such a champ during Ziale. He was unwell. He traveled, but he's an advocate of the High Court.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So people get sick. People get sick.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. You just have to be resilient and know what you're there for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the next one, quick question. What advice would you give someone who is starting Ziale? Tips and advice on how to get through it. So basically we'll just be building up off what we've just said.
Mindset though. Number 1 is mindset. You can't go and you hear people say 4-4-2 formation, where you go and say, I'm just going to focus on these 4 courses and then I'll focus on.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Pay for all the exams.
People do
still
that.
pay. It's expensive.
Because they'll be focus on these
And it's
5,
stressful.
clear these 5, and then do the other.
Terrible. Just go and say, I'm going to pass. Do you remember there's a time when our results were coming up for our midyears and we're standing in the car park because the lecturers have a meeting. There's a man who was walking around. I was with you outside the car park.
Together.
And he came and he was like, so we hear 6 have passed. And then I was like, me, I'm there. And then Mumu was like, okay, me, I'm there, but maybe not. Then the man was like, what's your name? What's your name? So when the results come out, I check. Yeah, and I was there on the media. So it's all about your mindset. Don't go in already defeated. Especially for Ziale, it's just 50%. Whatever the case, if the circumstances are working against you, it's just 50%. Yeah. And I failed to make it for 2 courses, yes, but it's just 50%. It doesn't change the fact that it's just 50%.
Yeah.
True.
So mindset.
So don't go there scared, because people are scared. Why are you scared? You don't even know. Like, go and experience it for yourself. You know
Everybody's
what I mean?
experiencing it.
Yeah.
And like when it comes to mindset, like just think like if other people have done it, why
Exactly.
shouldn't you do it? Like
Exactly.
even the first time or whatever.
Yeah.
You are the girl. And you're the boy.
You are the boy. And then for those ones that are just starting now, I would say don't do tuition yet until you know like where your weaknesses lie. Like some people want to start tuition from day one. Like you don't even have notes in your book and you're already there. Like, you know what I mean? Like know where your weaknesses are and whatnot, and then decide, because it really takes up a lot of your time.
So much
And I
time.
spoke to people after who were regretting like doing tuition in, like, for example, like more than half the courses, when you could have just studied by yourself, and then after, like when you have questions and whatnot, then you go and see like a tutor or whatever.
And I think also, for like seeing a tutor, having a tutor, it has to be for specific things. You can't go to
Specific,
someone
yeah.
who's teach you the whole syllabus. That's what
Yeah,
you're
come
paying
on.
yearly for. The lecturer is doing
Yeah.
that. So like there are certain courses like conveyancing where you have to memorize certain things and stuff like that. Like there are tips. So okay, but those are the tips they're asking for. For example, we can't think of them right now. We're just talking about how we've forgotten everything. But like for certain things you have to draft in conveyancing, it's like a template of some sort is there in some of the acts. So things like that, you need to go to people for specific things,
Yeah.
not like what is a mortgage.
Yeah.
Gee,
And then also, like, if you had to recommend subjects where like someone can do
Accounts?
tuition, yeah.
if you're not good at accounts, probate, because it's a specific way of answering questions.
yeah, just to go and learn how to answer questions,
Not
but
to learn
not
the
to
course.
learn.
Yeah.
I would say even evidence, because I've noticed like a lot of people do struggle with evidence these days.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so
Even
I'd say like
evidence.
even evidence. But
Yeah.
one pro tip I can give you is like when you go to Ziali, make sure you consult. Like call people who've been there, who've
Yeah.
just been
Call
through
us
it.
guys.
Especially like the people who've recently been there, because
Oh,
they
yeah.
know the lecturers and they
Yes.
know how the lecturers think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even like the materials you're supposed to go through, because you always find yourself in a situation where you have so much material from different sources. So you need to streamline
Yeah, because you're gonna have
and
so
decide
much.
what you're going to use, because
Yeah.
you'll be getting confused with different things. Consult. You can't do Ziale alone.
You
It's a
can't,
lie.
you guys.
It's a lie.
You really can't.
And careful as well who you're interacting with. Man, so many people mislead each other
The
there.
blind leading the blind.
Oh. Yeah, so be careful. Like when you're forming your study groups or whatever, like I don't know.
And another thing is that move at your own pace. So like if you see yourself like leaving school immediately and then people are staying back, don't
Don't
feel
be under
bad.
pressure.
Yeah, don't feel any pressure like they're doing more than me or whatever.
Yeah, oh no.
It's a very personal experience,
Yeah.
like we've said before. So just run your own race, because you know exactly where you are. You don't need to pit yourself against anyone but yourself, because you write the exam by yourself.
Yeah.
And even when the list comes out, your name will be there by itself.
Yeah. So, emphasize what he said about having someone to talk to in the previous intake. Like apart from Musaku, I had Chongo, who really helped me, and Mubanga as well, my cousin. Yeah, because the ones that have just gone through it, like really remember what it's like. Because right now, if you call me, you know, we've forgotten. Like
I know.
obviously we remember that it was hard and whatnot, but like it's not fresh anymore. So yeah, find like a mentor in the previous intake. Yeah. Someone that did well also, because then they'll be giving you good advice, not scaring you. Yeah.
And also, like, if you call someone who's, I'm not saying you don't call them. In fact, call them too, but then just bear in mind that the lecturers have changed.
Oh yes,
So
there's
like,
that.
some
Yeah.
people are like we
Yeah.
had different lecturers. When I was there, certain people were there. When
But
these guys
majority
were there,
were the same.
Yeah.
people changed. Yeah,
Okay, the same.
yeah, majority.
And
were the same.
another thing is you need to be careful who you consult, because if you consult somebody whose ego is injured, they won't uplift you even when like
Yeah, they'll just be scaring you.
yeah, like Mumu's cousin, when I was talking to her about the course that she had to receive, she's like, you can do it. It's so
Yeah,
easy.
she
It's
was
so
so
easy. But other people would
encouraging,
be
yeah.
like, it's hard.
I
Yeah,
don't know
she
how
was-
you're going to do it.
She
All
was
the
really
best.
supportive. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question: how did you manage conveyancing? It's such a drain.
I actually like.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was like,
I think it was our lecturer.
yeah. No.
I can't pass a comment. Like,
No, I
there was a
I
point.
love
There was a point I
conveyancing.
never used to attend that.
Really?
Okay, no, but we're supposed to be giving tips.
Okay.
Anyway, so practice it every other day.
Because it's a lot of memorizing.
Yeah.
And
Every
not like
other
the
day.
completion statements.
Every other day.
And listen to your lecturer. Our lecturer literally told us in the last class, be careful, I will examine you on a notice to complete. And you gave
Oh
me
my
the
god!
exam.
I didn't know that question.
Give
It
me
was
the
8
exam.
marks.
Bruh.
I had never seen it before, but it was in our notes. Like, yeah, listen to your lecturers, and he always does this.
Yeah. So like,
Are you listening?
just make sure you always practice.
Practice, yeah.
makes perfect. So even if you're at a law firm and they give you a contract, always start it from scratch.
Yeah.
Even if you have a precedent, don't just copy and paste.
'Cause in the
Type
exam.
it, even if you're just copying.
Because
from
when
one
it
thing to
comes,
the
my
next.
friend, yeah, no, that one really like
Yeah.
it's all about memory work.
So
I
you just
think,
have to know.
like,
Yeah. You need to know the like different clauses, word for word, and whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Soli Patel's books, you have to get
Kevin's notes, the famous Kevin's
Yes.
notes.
Life save.
DM me.
Life save.
Yeah. Yeah. So practice every other day. I'm saying every other day because there's also courses like accounts that you need to
every other
practice
day.
frequently. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just switch between the two. But really, the only way you can be good at conveyancing is like, it was one of my highest both at mids and finals. Like that's how much I enjoyed it. Yeah.
And like
So
a,
it's all about practice.
a side comment for accounts, just make sure you have frank good and you do the
Oh, yeah.
exercises.
Yeah,
Do the
yeah.
exercises.
Yeah. Sorry. The next part of her question, what's the best way to study the White Book rules and contract of sale in conveyancing? Acronyms? Question mark. Maybe let's start with the contract of sale.
Okay, a contract of sale, like acronyms always help
Yep.
to make sure that you don't forget
The
a certain
sequence.
Yeah.
the clause. So like when you finish drafting, you can then go back and like put the acronym against each clause to see which one you may have missed.
Yeah.
So acronyms will always help in like contracts of sale.
Yeah. And
It's just a
really,
fact.
like, dude, yeah. That's
I
the one
think
course where there's a lot of
For the
memorizing.
contract of sale, it's the little things like you don't capitalize
Yeah.
between,
Underlining,
right? Things like that. Yeah.
all
So you need
that
to pay
pizza.
attention to that, like the inverted commas on hereinafter referred to as the vendor. Like don't forget that part because it doesn't make sense for you to say the vendor after that if you haven't introduced the party. That's in the
Also,
contract.
also know your general conditions. Because
Oh yeah, that really.
because
yeah.
you're
You
not-
have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, because there's special conditions at the back, so you have to make sure, like, if the question comes and says, like, amend the special conditions, you should be able to tell if a general condition is in there,
Yeah.
so you can remove it, because general
So
conditions...
basically, if you don't understand, because some haven't studied CLE yet,
Yeah.
last general conditions govern all contracts of sale. So there are certain things like 10% deposit and whatever. So in the special conditions inside the contract of sale, if you vary any of the general conditions, then you have to state it there. So if
Yeah.
you decide it's going to be 50% or what is it?
Deposit.
Yes, deposit. Then you have to put that as a special condition. So that is very important because that's what the marks are
Yeah.
for conveyancing. And then you need to know whether it's a company or an individual selling because that changes the attestation, the testimonial, the ones at the back, white book.
White book.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The white book is so vast and it covers almost the whole legal procedure. What I would advise is that when it comes to the white book, just know the general.
Like the things you cover in
The-
class,
yeah, the most-
basically.
yeah.
What Mr.
Yeah.
Semeza is teaching or whatever. Yeah. Ish. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
But refer to what he likes the white book. The current
Yeah.
lecturer for the
For high court.
what stream is this?
The one
stream
starting
A.
now.
Yeah.
The one starting.
He really
tomorrow.
likes, and you also need to understand. I think it's Isaac Mbewe Kalikeka whatever. Where there's the white book only applies where there's a lacuna in our law. So like for injunctions, I think he would prefer that you use the high court one as opposed to the white book because we have our own law on it. Yeah.
And I think the more you revise, the more you remember. Like, oh, order 18 is for this, order 16 is for that, or whatever, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like we kind of knew. We knew our
The
stuff.
18 is pleading.
Just wanted to ask about Moot Court. We'll be doing Moot Court next year, so just need some advice because it seems I'm asking the wrong people. They're all freaking me out.
I
Do
cried
you
after my
remember?
mood court.
Why?
I have it on video.
Oh, really?
Because I was so
Nervous?
nervous and overwhelmed, and then you need to prepare your briefs very well.
Yeah.
So I thought that the man who Mr. Wezi would do the work, and then he misled me. He put the wrong provision. So the court asked me, "You're misleading the court," and I'm like, "What do I say? What do I say?" So I was like, "I'm asking for guidance, and it's not our job to guide you."
Oh, yeah. No, because, sometimes the judges for Moot Court.
And you have to be prepared because
Yeah.
it's like before the Supreme Court. Moot court is usually like
Yeah,
an appeal
yeah.
case. You have to be prepared because that's when they'll ask you, like, goes back to the first question, and you have to know things on the spot. For Moot, they could ask you anything, like,
Yeah.
Anything.
They could ask you, what does reputation mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you'd have to know the legal definition of reputation.
Yeah.
That's
So you
for
need to
example,
really, really
But don't be
prepare.
scared.
Like
Don't be
read.
scared.
Like when you're given your case and you're preparing your briefs and whatever, like, you really need to prepare and like read widely, yeah, because they could ask you anything.
like the
But
most
regarding the
people-
case, of course, but like,
Yeah.
so
Like-
tell us about your experience.
Oh, my experience. Like, I feel like I was well prepared for my moot, but I was shivering and nervous. Like
Yeah.
the nerves are a given.
It's
You'll
normal,
always
yeah.
be nervous.
It's normal.
But just make sure you're always prepared and be confident. And another thing is that remember that everyone who's sitting in that room doesn't know as much as you because you are the one who's actually prepared for that.
Exactly.
So everyone is
Yeah,
there
way
to
more
listen
prepared,
to
yeah.
listen to you and learn from you. So just take that mantle and be like, this is your moment to show what you've understood and learned about the case. So just argue it out that way.
Yeah.
Besides, it only lasts for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so
only
don't ever.
it's quick. And you're done.
It's not the end of
And
the
then you
world.
can
Yeah.
cry after.
And if you're scared of like public speaking, it helps to like practice in front of people. I just practice in the mirror and also in front of like some guys at Zika's. Like I didn't really know
Like
all of
boys.
them. Yeah, boys. So I'd like this one friend and like he had a huge group of guy friends. So I'd like practice in front of them and yeah, it really helped, I think.
Yeah.
I was still nervous on the day, but I feel like it could have been worse. Practice in the mirror, it helps boost your confidence, you know? Yeah,
And
because
another-
confidence is key.
Yeah, and another thing I would say is that if you're not the first one mooting in your semester, make sure you watch everyone else's
Oh, yeah.
moot
Yeah.
so you can learn the demeanor of the judges and also just like
And so
how
you know
it
what to
goes.
expect.
Yeah,
Because man, you'll be shook.
yeah.
Next question. So Ziale, what do you consider to have been the most difficult part?
Everything, you guys. Because it's like,
You don't.
Okay, learning 11 subjects at once. Man, that would never be normal.
yeah, I think if they broke it up, everybody would definitely
Yeah, like
passing.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I think
It's
for
a lot.
Ziale, the most difficult thing for me, being personal, is getting back up. I remember people started revision after we got our results. People started revision. People started moving like, oh, I'm just going through high court. And how she had one less paper than me,
Yeah.
but I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just getting back up, I think it
It's-
was the most difficult.
Yeah.
I think for me the most difficult thing about Ziale was stress management because there's so much expectation on you from like the people who know you and from yourself as well.
BIzzo.
Because you don't know.
And then like, when people who also see you in Chicago are like, we'll see if they'll pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Stress, man.
Because you don't want to fail first of all for yourself, and then think like because your family is there as well. So stress management is the biggest issue, because the stress is what makes people panic, and sometimes stress could make you fail.
Yeah.
So when she said that everything was difficult, that's part of it because the stress will always be there.
Constant.
You just need to know how to manage it, and that's the best advice I can give on that. To be honest, that's the
Yeah.
most difficult thing I found about Ziale. As well as like for me, because I passed everything at the mid-years, there was the issue of what if I don't pass everything at the finals after this. So there's that.
That was us. That was us.
So is that
Yeah, extra pressure.
So is that
Yeah.
additional pressure? But then there was a silver lining in that dark cloud, being that I just need 50% of everything and
Yeah.
I'm done.
Ah,
So
yes.
I'd rather be stressed about just getting 50% than having to make up marks from the mids. So like that's
Yeah.
those are the most difficult times.
Yeah. I agree, that extra pressure, we felt it. Yeah, because we passed everything on our mids, and yeah, it
And
was
everybody's
definitely.
watching all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Was it a
because then I'm like, the six. Wait, let's see if the six will pass. We were six.
It was 6.
What else was challenging?
The dress code, you guys.
Oh, and that thing, always wearing heels. Come on. And then also as exams approach, like lecturers want to do makeup lectures. Like I remember that
Vista.
one probate class,
Yeah.
4 hours of probate.
I don't think
Yeah.
You were there, I think.
I was there.
Yeah, after that I went for a party. Next question. Hey Tuttie, what would be your best advice to a law student like me? I think we've covered.
Yeah.
Just quit. Mind you, no, we've covered everything. Positive mindset. You can do it. You're the boy. Yeah.
Did. Okay, so I know different methods work for different people, but what are some Ziale tips that you feel a must for one to know?
I think we covered that
Yeah, I
too.
think we covered that exhaustively. But I'll say one more thing. pay attention to what's going on where you're attached, because those things help sometimes even in the exam.
That's so true.
And like we said before, like a good lawyer knows where, doesn't know the law, all of it, but knows where to find it. Because you find that you'll be writing an exam and then the set of facts will come, but you don't know what the exact law, but you know where to find it because of the way the facts are set up. That's how practice
time
is.
in the exam.
Yeah,
You save
true.
on time if you know when to
Oh.
look.
True.
Yeah.
So like for
Wow, time management, man.
so like for acts, the contents page will always help. For example, in like criminal procedure, because each
Yeah.
offense
Because
has.
sometimes you won't even know, but then once you go to the contents page, you'll be like, oh, this is
is
my
the section.
answer.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
Right
Yeah, that
there.
happened a few times in the
So
exam.
the-
I was like,
Yeah, the rules and
But
the
you find
acts
your
are your
answer.
best friends in the exam and even in practice.
Self-code.
yeah. And then last minute tip.
No, there was one question on my Facebook. Hi Harrison. Harrison asked the major difference between uni and Ziali. For uni, it's very theoretical. What are the
Yeah.
elements of a crime? Mens rea, what's the mens rea, what's the actus reus, whatever. But then when you get to Ziali, it's for which sort of crimes do you draft an information? For which
Yeah.
sort of crimes do you draft a
It's
charge
very
sheet?
practical.
How do you apply for bail? Like, yeah, so it's more practical at Ziali, and it's all or nothing. Like at uni, you have a smaller number of courses at a time, but at Ziali, you have to give
Everything
in
at once.
everything at the same time. So,
It's
yeah, that's the major difference.
I would say the major difference, like she said, just to add on, is mindset switch. You can't be answering Ziali questions like you used to answer uni questions. I had this approach in my Ziali exams, was always, these are the set of facts, so I would take it like I'm already practicing, and that's how I would answer my
Picture yourself
questions.
in the courtroom.
Yeah, like how would I advise this client who's sitting right in
Oh,
front
yeah.
of me? So like,
Yeah.
like you would have to advise to a point where they understand and still be professional and keep everything else in mind,
Yeah.
because they're preparing you for practice and not just to pass an exam. You'll
Yeah.
be dealing with people's lives and whatnot. So even as you're answering your questions, have that in mind.
Yeah. Because there's times when you just think, wow, yeah, I've answered so well, I'm sure I'll pass. And then you just
I
don't.
can't.
I've also heard like people's experiences and they just don't understand why they didn't pass or why they still haven't passed. Yeah, so I think that's also one of the things. Like,
Yeah.
how are you answering your questions?
Your mindset and how you think really has to change.
Yeah.
And which is why I said, like, you pay attention to what goes on where you're attached. It helps.
Yeah.
It's how people who've been there before. And even people who are in practice, like, I'm studying this, I didn't understand ABC. Is it possible for you to run me through
Yeah.
how it's done? And yeah, you find your feet that way.
Yeah. I hope this is helpful.
Better be.
It better be. What mode of study did you find convenient if you ever tried both out? Reading notes alone, then cases alone, and then statutes alone, or reading notes, cases, and statutes all at once?
You have to read them all at once.
Yeah.
If it's one topic, then you go across all the sources of law.
As you make your study notes even, you'll be like, oh, section whatever, in the case
And
of
this
whatever.
case of-
Yeah.
and-
So,
yeah.
like the
And
notes
my
are
notes-
the notes
yeah.
are there to help you understand the
To guide
cases and the statutes.
Why is sounding like
I- No names.
How do I Mr. Two?
But yeah, but it
yeah,
makes sense.
it has to be everything at once because
Yeah.
it helps you understand everything and you get a clearer picture, and yeah,
And that way, even in your mind, you have it set like, oh, under this topic, these are the cases and statutes. That way, you will
Exactly.
know where to find what you're looking
Exactly,
for, even
yeah.
when the facts are presented to you.
yeah. Another question from somebody in the crowd.
True. If you had to go through law school again, would you do it again?
Personally, I wanna be a swimsuit model. I'm kidding. Yes,
The devil is a liar. I would never do it.
I think I'll do it again. But really, yeah. No, I would.
Oh, wait, I didn't get your question.
As in,
Would you do it again?
Would you
Like-
do it again
like,
in
would
that
you
same
do-
way,
oh,
or
oh,
like
oh,
with
No,
the
just
knowledge you have?
generally, would you do law school again, or would
Oh, yeah,
you go
definitely.
study something
Oh
else?
no, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I'll definitely do it again.
Okay, one last question.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with like public perception and like your now social image? That's hard because your whole life changes and now what you
I'm
do.
not answering that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saku lives in the crevices.
Also, yeah, I think this would need like a whole other
Another video. So let us know
Yeah.
if you want.
That's a
and
whole other
we'll
thing.
be back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot that comes with it.
Yeah, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to DM us. Yeah. Tuttie?
I just wanted to give a shout out to KB. He's been a real champ, and BIzzo too. Thank you so much for watching our video, you guys.
All the best
block
to the
yourselves.
students.
All the best to all of you.
Wait, first of all, wait. Yeah, the one starting this week, those yearly students starting this week, all the best.
Yeah, the
The law
girls.
school students writing exams. Shout out Chupa, all the best. Yeah,
Godspeed, you guys.
We're praying for you when we remember.
yeah. And you can do it, really. Keep swimming, sink or drown. What? Swim or drown?
Cheers.
Saku.
Cheers. Cheers.
She goes by Tuttie, and the name it sounds like fruity. She's so artistic, when she smiles it's just like Marchie.